I wasted hours jumping between the languages and bookmarking the 10-hour plus of tutorials I never finished, and confused my business with the real progress. I was just looking like productive, but in general, I was completely overwhelmed. And if you consider in today's era whether we should go and learn with the data structure and algorithm, whether we have to build the projects or whether we have to go with learning AI tools. What if I could start over with clean state and the tools available today we have and a smarter plan? Here it is, a brutally honest and experience based strategy definitely I would follow if I had to learn coding from scratch in these 2025 or 2026. And if you're someone who's just starting their career in the coding, or maybe you're stuck in the tutorial hell, then consider this your fast track roadmap. It is something I wish someone handed me on day one when I started learning to code. So the first one here would be, I would definitely not waste my time choosing which language I will have to prefer to learn first. Because when I was just learning, I was going through a lot of tutorials, which language I have to prefer. And a different person has the different perspective to learn and suggestion according to their own point of view. But after having this much of experience, I could generally say it to you that you just have to go with one language, that is C. Once you're clear enough, and today in this era, in the journey to actually fast track your way, then definitely after then you are going with the Python. Because see why I ask you, in C language, you would be able to clear all of your concept of programming language and how this code works. And this is what actually going to build your foundation. And then after, any other languages would be as much easier to learn. It won't be so much of difficulties as it was in your first language. And then after, you can consider the Python, because this is what actually, there is no doubt, no any question why we have chosen the Python. We are living in current era. There is a lot of exposure, whether it is web development, whether it is AI, whether it is data science, whether it is scripting, whatever it is, you would be able to implement this language itself by using and utilizing this in an effective way. And that is the reason I would prefer to use and learn the Python after learning C language. And definitely you have to stick to one language after then till you build the projects, and you would be able to build the momentum, because you are not going to distract by any of the shiny tech trends we are having in this era. And if you are just aspiring to become a software developer with a very fast track way, then definitely I have explained in this video here, you would be able to learn things faster, and especially in this Python language only, so that it will be more easier to learn initially and there is no other languages needed. You would be able to learn things faster and to actually stand out to get a job as per the instruction, if you could follow the same and implement the same. So definitely you must check it out if you really want to fast track your journey to become a software developer. And the second thing which I will do a bit differently is, I will definitely stop building these to-do applications, calculator, and instead I will definitely start solving my own problem. When I learned the basic of web development, I just made one of the email newsletter application to collect the email address of my friends. When I initially started, I was just building these things like the basic one, to-do applications, calculators, weather app with the help of API. Actually, you fall in love with the programming, not by just going with the tutorials and following the same, but actually you're going to make your code to fix a few of the problems and make your life easier. That is what actually going to help you to make it persistent in your interest. So in this case, definitely I would look for any kind of frustration which I would be having in this case. Maybe I would find a kind of frustration in my routine. I would automate the routines. Maybe I would have a messy download folder, right? So how would I able to organize it in effective ways that it would be easier for me later on to find in specific files according to the needs. And this is what actually keeps you motivated, because that is what actually matters to you only in the end. Because you are not even into the corporate yet, because once you get into this corporate, you will be able to find a real problem and you will be able to solve the real problem, and that is where you will get motivated once. So till you are not getting into the corporate world, you just have to solve a kind of problem you can build around. And the next one here is, I will definitely read the codes every single day. Nobody just told me before that in a software development field, reading code is actually also so much important for us, because when I first visited the GitHub repository, I was wondering how many lines of codes out there and how many file and folder structure is there. I was confused and I was not able to understand how it has been doing and what is the core function of this method they have written over there, a lot of lines of codes. And then after later I realized even 5 to 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of reading every single day will help you improve how you effectively would be writing the code when you will be programming. Because it is something like, if you want to become an author, right, you definitely have to go with the great articles to read through before, and then only you will be able to write an effective way the book you definitely love writing of. Yes, it is definitely like reading great writings if you really want to become an author. And yes, for sure, your first attempt is not going to be perfect. It will be messy, but later on it will be getting better. So you do not have to be so much concerned of those. And the fourth one here would be, I will definitely focus more on debugging, not just be so much concerned of just writing the code, because this is something which is going to teach me more than I would be just wasting my time to be perfect and then only going to start something and writing the code without any mistake. But this is not the reality. Once we get into the industry, there is a lot of bugs would be there. If you really want to be the one who would be just writing the codes in a first way and first attempt and it would be perfect, then definitely you are in the dilemma. When I first started my coding journey, I thought maybe the real programmer is just perfect in writing the codes in the first place from scratch. But in general, they are constantly fixing the bugs. And the more bugs you fix, the more you learn. Even once you write a perfect code, you are going to get less learning from it than that of the code where you have been fixing the bugs, because at that time you're going to trying to understand how it has written and what is actually the expectation of this code and why it is being broken and how we can fix this. So this way you are just putting a lot of effort to actually fix that bugs. So in this way actually you are going to learn more than what actually it would have with just one of the perfect written code. And definitely the next point is, I will definitely join the coding community before even I feel ready, because this is where you are going to collaborate with the other developers, right? And you would also be able to help each others. You would be able to learn things faster. You have an environment where you could also get an opportunity to connect with the recruiters, to connect with the mentors. And if you are just there to collaborating with each others, definitely you are going to also help, right? So in this process, if you are helping someone, if you are teaching someone, maybe you are explaining something, and this is what actually the best way of learning. So this is what actually the huge mistake I was not even aware of. I will definitely join maybe the Reddit or the Discord channel, or maybe the 100 days of coding challenge in Twitter. So always remember, you're going to grow faster when you're going to explain or teach someone, even if you are a beginner. And the next one is, I will definitely avoid trying to learn everything in the first place. One of the biggest mistake I have done previously, that I used to be the one who would be just learning all of the concept of one programming language and then after going to build something. I would not do the same mistake, because if I had to learn something, just clear the basic one and just move on. While building the applications, I would be able to figure out if I need to learn on the go. I will definitely go with the process of finding the solution for the same. If I need to again refine my concept, definitely I will go with the documentations and Googles. And then after learning, I would be able to just again restart building the application. So this would be the process for me, not to figure out in the first place and then after going to start building something. Because this is what actually you would be just stuck in that learning phase instead of building something. That is the real progress. And that's the reason that I just say that Google and Stack Overflow exist for a reason, right? Because if you're just going to figure out the first place and then after going to start, it is something like you want to learn the language, but before that you want to learn every single word from the dictionary and then after you're going to speak English. It is not like that, right? Definitely you do not study the whole dictionary before even you are going to speak. And the next thing which I will definitely do a bit differently is, I will be learning job focused skill. In the beginning, I used to learn the code tools, maybe the languages that was not even aligned with my long-term goals, which I just wanted to work with the organizations. Here we just have to first pick one of the target role whether it is data analyst, backend developer. Then after identify whichever the tools or maybe the languages we need in order to achieve that one. And then after build the portfolio and the project around this. And that is what actually you are going to do. Suppose you are going to learn the data analyst. Definitely you would be learning the Python along with the pandas, SQL, and then simple dashboard. You are not going to dive into the machine learning right from the day two. So I will definitely prefer to be strategic with the learning, because not every cool thing is right for the same situation. And yes, the next one here is I will definitely build the projects and portfolio first instead of going with that of the DSA with deeper concept. Yes, initially after learning the languages, you can go with the basic one, but then after we'll have to focus more on building the project. If you're asking me which one I will choose, I will definitely go with the projects. It is one of the most interesting topic here is as a debate that whether we have to go with the DSA or the project. According to me, I will be just going with that of the project itself, because real application generally teach us the real software engineering skills. It might be problem solving, might be debugging. It would be related to that of using the libraries and collaborating with the team members. This is what actually the real skill is. According to 2025 GitHub report, the 65% of the hire report was successful from that of project-based portfolio, not from the DSA and lead code problems. And here this project start with simple web development app, maybe application development app, maybe the portfolio building application, maybe something like automation related. In automation, like scrapping the websites to collect some of the data based on the script which we have written. Because project is something that shows the employer that we can definitely ship the code, right? Yes, lead code problem is also good, because you could also later apply for the big companies. That is also going to be very helpful. And yes, the next one here is I will definitely document my journey publicly. It's been more than 6 years. I have been in this coding journey, and there is no such way that someone could get to know about me that I'm definitely in this field. Because this is one of the biggest regret. I was not showing online that from day one itself. But I would rather start something like, even if not in months or not even in a week, at least 2 to 3 months, I will definitely post something which I have built on LinkedIn and maybe the tutors. And at that time when I was first learning, I had one of the curiosity to start my blogging, right, in this technical writing. But I was just so much focused on learning, I was not able to just start the things on the side. And later I realized that it has already been passed. And at this moment, if you're just asking me to again writing to blogs, it would be a bit harder for me to again writing the blogs in a technical fields, because it is going to be consuming a time. Instead, I could just explain the things, whatever the concept is here in this video format. This is why exactly very important for us, because once we get our presence online, we have one of the personal brand. We have an opportunity to connect with the mentors, maybe the recruiters, and also you learn faster by teaching. And if you are posting somewhere else, maybe the weekly basis, right, you are just holding accountable that you definitely have to learn in this week, and definitely you will have to post somewhere else. You also remember that some of the most followed developer are not the most expert, but they are just relatable, because they started sharing their journey in the process. So you don't even need to be a genius, just be curious and consistent. You don't even need the degree, you don't even need the 10 hours a day. You do not even need to be perfect in the first place and to figure out everything after going to start something. You just have to start, be curious, start learning, and be consistent over the journey till you have reached somewhere you decided of. And the good news here is you have already got the roadmap, what I wish I could have 5 to 6 years ago. So now it's your turn. What exactly is stopping you now? And if you find some of the points connecting you the most, comment in down below. Definitely I would go through each. As of now, thank you very much the time which you have given to yourself, and definitely we'll see you very soon. Till then, have a nice life.